Kelly Vaughn, and this is Inside Indy. And in this edition of Inside Indy, we want you to read it and eat. What is she talking about? I'll tell you who I'm talking to. He is John Barnes, and you are the communications specialist for the Indianapolis Public Library in downtown Indianapolis and all over central Indiana, right?
Marion County.
Marion County.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me again. It's our own tradition.
If we've been doing this particular interview, you were talking about it earlier, since what year?
It's going to date us, but I'm guessing early 90s.
Early 90s, maybe 92, 93
I think
or so. And each year he comes bearing gifts. And we'll tell you about those gifts that are for me and for you through the library. But I started off with Read It and Eat.
Yes.
What are you talking about for this year's program?
Well, that's our theme for the 2017 Summer Reading Program.
Okay.
And the component this year, we certainly continue to have the traditional activity of children earning points that can be exchanged for great prizes, as you mentioned.
Okay.
For all of their reading activity.
Okay.
But the added component involves instilling a sense of philanthropy for the children. By donating non-perishable food items to Gleaner's Food Bank, they can earn points as well and learn about community giving and making Indianapolis a stronger, healthier place to live.
Okay, so learn to read and learn to give.
That's right.
I like that. I like that very much.
But this year's program is modeled after, as I mentioned, the tradition of reading any age children. Parents can earn points for reading to their children, and what they can earn are prizes that range from passes to Indiana Fever games,
Nice.
Idle Jorg Museum, Symphony on the Prairie, Royal Penn Bowling Leisure Centers, to other items.
Uh-oh, here
For
comes
you,
Don Pardo,
here
everybody.
We have slap bracelets.
Uh-oh.
And these are going to be quite
there we
popular.
go, there we go.
And they are emoticon slap braces. And
Shall I be Vano?
you are going to be
Here
the
we go.
recipient of a slap
Did you
bracelet.
see that? Let's do that in slow-mo so they can see that again.
It almost went all the way around.
I love it. I love it.
And because we
That's
have
cool.
the theme Read It and Eat, kind of a food-oriented theme, we have natural herbs, seeds that children can plant and learn how to grow a garden.
Okay, so you grow these and then you put them on your salad or something. You put them
can.
in
They're
your yard
herbs,
or in your
yes, they're-
window or something? Okay.
And we have some
Cool.
fun items, a $100 bill, a photo of Benjamin Franklin.
I love
for a
Ben.
wallet. A wallet
that's a
for
wallet.
you. You can
Get
put all of your money in
out.
there. Mini markers.
I love this guy. He does this to me every year.
And the list just goes on and on. I do.
Now, what is
have
this
to-
again?
Mini markers. These are
Okay.
small colored
Nice.
pens.
Nice. Okay. Isn't that cool? I got it the wrong way. There we go. See, and look, you can see my little band there. Oh, this is too cool.
You're decked out again for another year.
Okay, so now tell me how we get these again. What do kids have to do?
The first
and
step,
adults, for that
yep.
matter.
Go to any Indianapolis Public Library location or the bookmobile and register. When you register, you receive a points card, and that is what you use to accumulate the points to turn back into the librarians and choose your prizes, depending on how many points you earn. We have a list of bonus books that children can read to earn more points for even bigger and better prizes.
Okay.
And in addition to the reading activity, we have just a whole range of workshops for kids that are free, from gardening, food tasting, learning how to make food, robotics. For teens, we have talking about iPhones, how to take photos with your iPhone, and also a teen wilderness survival workshop. So these are all free, and we encourage people to go to their Indianapolis Public Library branch beginning now, continuing through July 29th.
Okay.
And points can be exchanged anytime during that time. The big culmination, Kelly, of the summer reading program is the library night at Victory Field.
Oh,
That's going to be on July 24th.
Okay.
And kids can also earn tickets for their reading activity to go to any Indianapolis Indians game this year. But we hope
Nice.
they do go to library night at Victory Field.
Very cool, very cool. Now, so when it comes to taking part in the summer reading program, you pick the books, or do we go in and we can pick the books we want?
Whatever children want to read and their parents. And the reason why this is so important, we all know, we've heard the comments, the studies made that reading, especially in an early age, really helps academic success later on.
Oh, yeah.
But it also instills that love of reading, and it helps maintain the reading habit during the summer. We want to try to prevent that summer slide.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, any book that kids want to get their hands on, we strongly encourage it. We do have a suggested list of bonus books for those who want a little bit more of a challenge. And parents can earn points for reading aloud to their children as well.
Now, what do the parents get? Do they get prizes? Do you get anything
Well,
else? You got a car over there?
We do have an adult summer reading program. That's another topic, which hopefully we'll have time for.
Okay.
But the parents, their earning of points just allows them to tack them onto their kids' card to earn these kinds of prizes.
Okay, so what about the adult summer reading program?
This is a new program we have this year, and it also follows along the theme of read it and eat.
Okay.
We have a list of 28 culinary-related themed books that adults can read and participate in a wide range of programs. We have food tastings, chef demonstrations, food demonstrations, author programs, movie showings. We have tours of Traders Point Creamery. And these are taking place not at the library locations, but at community locations. Restaurants, pubs, Traders Point Creamery, I mentioned, a whole host of community organizations have stepped up and are hosting adult programs all related to that adult reading theme this year.
Well, that's pretty cool. Then I need to sign up for that. So now let me ask you this, John. You know, social media it seems like it's taken over. So how do libraries fit into the world of social media?
Well, we have become, just over the last year, quite active in the social media realm. We were admittedly a little behind the curve in sharing our message and communicating about our programs, but we've stepped it up in the last several months. We have hired a digital media specialist at the Indy Library, and she is a dynamo. And so libraries are, it's very important for libraries, as it is for any organization, to let people know what's going on. And so we've come up the rear, so to speak, but we're getting there. And so hashtag IndyPL, you can go on the library's website as well. We like to not forget about our online services that people can access for free with their library card. And those are as important as any of our physical locations as well, because you can check out books, ebooks, manage your account, peruse the library catalog online, and we're finding that more people do that now than are coming to the libraries physically.
Okay, so now tell me how that happens in terms of the ebooks. So you sign up, I go to your website, and then do I register for? Do you still do the library card thing?
Yes, you need a library card, but ebooks, movie streaming, music, e-audio books, e-magazines, we have all of that on the library website, and they're free. But you need a library card. It's just like checking out any other material, but a lot of people like to read electronically or download, and they have that capability now through the library.
It is a mental transition, isn't it? Because you and I, we're old school, and you're used to the book in hand, and though we're using our iPhones and that kind of thing, but you find yourself caught up in that world as well. And of course, the kids, they're really into it, so it's an adjustment.
All that is true. However, each year we check our statistics, and still over 60% of all circulated items at the library are the physical books.
Really?
So those aren't going away. And we've rearranged our spaces at Central Library particularly to kind of address what people want more from their library, where things are more accessible. We've moved collections around. We're trying to appeal more to a downtown neighborhood patronage as more people are moving downtown Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah, it's growing.
So the physical materials are still very much an important part of library offerings.
Okay. Now, sometimes when I've been at the downtown library, I've noticed a lot of people situated in a computer room. So what's on various floors, actually? What's that all about? I see people
that would happen to be the computer room.
Okay, that's what you call that.
And we still have computer training. We have free classes. People can learn anything from simple basic computer skills to advanced applications, Microsoft PowerPoint, social media,
Wow.
Those are all free, and we have a schedule that people can find at the library and online to take advantage of free classes, not only at Central Library, but most of our library locations offer free computer classes. And of course, the library is still the one location, a civic place where people can come and access computers free of charge. Many people don't have a computer at home, so they come to the library where they can also receive job skill training, job searches, help with devising a resume, interviewing skills. All that kind of activity takes place in our computer areas at our libraries.
Okay, so if you want to know how to put together a resume in that computer area, is that like a class you're saying you offer, or you could just say, hey, I need help when you get there?
You can do that, but we do have formal, what we call job centers that are formally staffed with trained experts who know all about local resources and the things you were talking about, how to compose a resume and what do you do for a job interview, but most importantly, bringing people up to speed, especially those who not only are unemployed but underemployed, up to speed in learning how to use modern computer technology.
Wow, there's so much going on there. You know, and again, you walk in and you see people reading, you think this is what it's about, but there's so much more happening at the library. And you can rent rooms and you can hold events even at the downtown one, right?
Yes, absolutely. Weddings are extremely popular
Really?
at our
Okay.
downtown. It's a beautiful location for those who haven't been in the physical building. But the library is full of programming and free programming opportunities. We talked about the computers. One of our most traditional activities, of course, are children's story times. And this kind of brings us full circle back to the summer reading program. Virtually every branch has story times for toddlers, preschoolers, baby story times even.
Aw.
And what a great way to introduce kids to language skills and getting them ready for academic success, as we say, than to come and socialize with other parents, bringing their children to the library as well, and learning early literacy skills.
So reading to them and allowing them to read is so important, because when you see kids texting back and forth or on Facebook, they've got the language all wrong on so many levels. Like, what word is that? They've created their own culture. So this is good to know that there's something going on that will teach them the basics. So,
Yes.
All right. So how can people find out more about the summer reading program and sign up?
Okay, go to your local branch, any NDPL location. We have 24 sites around Marion County, or visit our website at ndpl.org. And again, the summer reading program continues through July 29th with Library Night at Victory Field on July 24th.
All right. Sounds good to me. John Barnes, Communications Specialist for the Indianapolis Public Library. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Kelly.
On Inside Indy. And when we come back, we're going from old school to a new school next. We're back, and as I mentioned, I'm old school. We're talking about a new school here on Inside Indy, and here to talk about it is Ryan Gallagher. He is the Chief Advancement Officer for Traders Point Christian Schools in Whitestown, Indiana. Welcome to the show, Ryan.
Thanks, Kelly.
Wow, you guys are opening up a whole new, it's a high school?
A brand new high school.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, we've been told it's the only Christian high school being built in the U.S. right now.
Really?
Dr. Bruce Wilkinson told us that, and we'll take his word for it. So we're really
Okay.
excited.
I'm not going to
And it's
argue with him.
a great responsibility. We're firing on all cylinders right now to open by August.
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay. Now, I know a little bit about Traders Point Christian Church. I know it
Sure.
used to be on Lafayette Road, but you moved to Whitestown. So give us a little bit of history on the church and the schools.
Absolutely. So the school really started in the church as an early childhood program, and it was such a strong program that it grew. And as you can see over, that started 40 years ago. So
Wow.
It's been growing since, and we added a high school component about 7-8 years ago now. And it's just the students have never had their own space. So We've grown incrementally over time, and now we're at a point where we have about 93, 94 students, and they really need their own space. They can't walk the halls with our K through 8 students as well.
Yeah, that would be cramping my style a little bit.
I know, right? So we've had some community supporters step forward and say, let's do this. And 20 months ago, we started raising money for a $7.5 million building and campus. And here we are.
Wow, just like that. So, and I know it's not just like that. It does take time to make all these things happen. So how many students will the high school be able to hold?
The first facility, Learning Center 1, will be able to hold up to 300, 350 students at max capacity. Wow. We'll open next year at 150 or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, and when you open a new high school, do you recruit? I mean, how are you going to fill that space? Did the people just decide, hey, I heard there's a new high school. Do you have to live in that area?
Right.
How does one go to Traders Point Christian High School?
Great question. The thing is we're the only private K through 12 north of 86th Street and west of Meridian. So when it comes to people being interested in coming to school, it's just a matter of them knowing about us. And I think most people just don't know that we've expanded as rapidly as we have.
Okay.
And so that's part of my job, is to get the word out, make sure that people know what our vision is. And that's to prepare and equip students to reach their highest individual potential while transforming the world for Christ.
Amen. So how is what you all do different than, say, some of the older schools, traditional schools in the city, or even some of the private schools? How are you different? What can I get there that I'm not going to get elsewhere?
Yeah, our head of school, Mr. Ron Evans, has a business background. So he has an MBA, and he really looks at those continuous improvement metrics for us to look outside of the box and be innovative in what we're doing. I think our high school is a perfect example of that. You can see it in the building. So we have a lot of non-traditional space that can be utilized according to how the students are learning. So whatever subject's going to be taught throughout that day, throughout that week, the teachers, who will have a common workplace, not the traditional classroom setting where they have their desk, will check out a learning space that is most conducive to the material that they're teaching that week that the students need to learn. And then we'll look at research that shows that test scores are higher when you have daylight present, direct light, and so every space has natural light. So very intentional about our design.
You are so right. I mean, okay, here at Channel 40, I operate in the chapel because there are windows.
Right.
And light. And I don't do so well closed in an office where I can't see out.
Right.
And I thought I was crazy. They thought I was crazy.
Well,
why are you in the chapel, right?
I think most people know, especially this time of year, sun's starting to come out, spring is here, we're feeling better, and that's what students feel when they're in a classroom with natural light. So each classroom space has a courtyard on the first floor, so if it's nice out those 4 or 5 months out of the year in Indiana, they can walk outside and take it all in. So we're really looking forward to seeing students use our space because it's flexible enough to grow with them.
Wow, that's interesting, it being flexible. So they're able to be in certain places. It just seems the traditional school is it constricts you so.
Right.
So they have a little better flow with where they go and what they do.
Yeah. So we'll have the close to traditional settings where it looks like a classroom, but it has that courtyard natural light feel.
Okay.
But this teacher will check that space out at the beginning of the week or the month to say, this is most conducive to what I want to teach. Whereas there may be a space where we want to have a Socratic seminar or an open space group methodology to deliver the learning. And what we'll do is check out an open area like our town square, where we'll have our chapels and right next to our coffee shop to come in and just kind of relax in that group setting and let the space be flexible enough to deliver the material for the day.
Wow, okay. So I would think cutting edge in terms of technology, the choices and things that kids would have access to as well?
Absolutely. We're always looking at opportunities to improve. And with that, comes some growing pains. And so, right now, we're just exploring every opportunity. We're going to have the worship arts present as well. And so we'll have a class where students can learn how to operate our soundboard and put on a production in our town square with a screen that'll come down and a huge soundboard up above. So we're really looking at that innovative approach to delivering the 21st century learning.
Okay. What about athletics when I think about a high school.
Yeah.
So, and have you been in the athletic game, so to speak?
You know, I'm originally born, I'm from Ohio, and so the language is a little different, but the school has been in the game, and they continue to grow. And that's what's great about our schools. I think that we're willing to take on that big challenge that sometimes takes a little longer with those organizations that have been around as long as us. When you're an organization that's been around for 40 years, you don't adapt to change as good as you would if you were, you know, a brand new operation. And so we have that history, but we also have the ability to adapt. And so we started our varsity football program 7 years ago, and we're moving into our field. Was our first time on our own field. Our first home game was last year at Witham Field, who they come on as a corporate sponsor to support that, as long as some private support. That's $1.5 million turf field, the same field that you'll see at Butler and the Baltimore Ravens Stadium. And so we're able to provide, you know, a new soccer program next year. We're just growing by leaps and bounds when it comes to athletics and other programs that our school has to offer.
Okay, sounds like a win-win.
Yeah.
So what's next for this year's graduating class?
Yeah, so this year's graduating class, well, they're in the last, I think someone said 11 days are left in the semester, and then they'll head into graduation shortly thereafter. But our job between now and then is to make sure that they're equipped and prepared to impact the world for Christ. And that's really what we're all about, making sure that we get the word out, that people know who we are, and we make that connection through relationship between people, between faculty and staff, staff and board members. It's all about the relationship that we carry forward to hold each other accountable and to grow.
Now, I'm a product of IPS. Go Rockets, Broad Ripple. So I don't know what it's like to go to a Christian school. I know nothing about that. So tell some, and I'm sure a lot of people have never been to a Christian school. So what would we see that I don't see when you don't go to a Christian school?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I'm a public school kid as well, and it served me very well. I think the component that most surprised me when I started at Traders Point Christian Schools was the worship. You know, to be able to speak freely about your beliefs and openly about that. And so we have mentor groups that help hold people accountable, especially at that age when you're going through, you know, finding yourself and what your values are and what your beliefs are. You know, we really challenge and educate those students to live a transformed life and identity in Jesus Christ. And that's where we are. But the great part is that we accept everyone. You know, come as you are, and just know that we're going to tell you about what we believe and where we're grounded. But we want to be inclusive as we grow. And I think that's one of the reasons that we're in our third year of record enrollment right now. People are realizing that they're welcome. You know, you belong at Traders Point Christian Schools, and grow with us. Help us, you know, write the next chapter as we open this new high school. Okay,
so opening in August, and if people want to find out more or to sign up, where do they go?
mytraderspoint.org. We'll give you a nice video, and you can, it's really easy to sign up for more information. We'd love to give you a tour of our new facility.
Okay, sounds good to me. Ryan Gallagher, who is the Chief Advancement Officer for Traders Point Christian Schools in Whitestown, Indiana. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Kelly.
On Inside Indy. And thank you for joining us. I'm Kelly Vaughn. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.